under controls, okay. It'll help if I have glasses on when this happens. Those are very small text. So now it's going and we're muted, so I don't have to worry about it. And I watch that this happens and just make sure that I unmute both microphones when we actually begin and then mute the external mic.
Correct. You don't have to worry about unmuting the Bluetooth microphone until the Darwin talk starts. It's up to you. It's not a big deal. If it's not turned on and you unmute it, nothing's going to happen.
And I end stream in this application or the other one?
In this application.
When it's done?
YouTube, yeah. Go to YouTube and hit end stream.
Okay.
That's the surefire way to make sure that the stream is ended. But actually, I take that back. I take that back. Go close it in the other application. Hit stop streaming because I leave this open for them to read the chat. If you hit end stream here, the chat will disappear.
Right.
So end the stream, hit stop streaming in here so they can, we're muted. But normally by this time we already have it started.
So just hopefully this isn't too much of a curveball, but Heidi's going to play Great Compassion to Running with the mock talk. She's going to be out there. But I know sometimes that cuts out.
What do you mean it cuts out?
Well, if the mock talk is too loud, then the sound cuts off. Is that true?
If it's too loud, it may sound bad, but I don't think it should stop from her playing.
Oh, then maybe I could just.
I'm sorry. Open widget, it says. Please track
Yeah,
video
don't worry
resolution.
about that.
Let's look.
I've tried to fix that, and it doesn't make a difference.
Okay.
You definitely can't fix it for here. It's because of the
So let's see at what point.
Maybe right at the beginning.
If you hear me, it's you who must make
So
me
we're gonna use
happy.
this.
Then I go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
I'm gonna have her put a
I'm ready to
remote
go.
out in now, so you can unmute the Bluetooth while she's doing the Great Compassion drawing.
Well,
Does that make sense?
I'm not going to be at the service,
Yes.
so you can
Shut
just
this one off
You're not
during
gonna
Great
be-
Compassion.
Leave it
Oh,
on,
because
but she's gonna be wearing this out there.
being only 1.5%.
She-
Okay.
She's gonna be.
I actually,
Correct.
okay, got it.
Further along.
So normally we
Yeah,
wouldn't use
since
it so the
the-
drama talk,
Got it.
but we are today because she's gonna
Since
be
you're
doing
not
Great
coming,
Compassion
could you
drawing.
get walk?
Why is she not outside?
I don't know.
Okay, so that's the point.
Correct.
She's gonna be outside, where's that?
Correct.
Got it. Could not track any
No
of
worries.
what anybody was saying just now.
So once she's ready to go, unmute the Bluetooth.
Yeah.
For you to bring the Great Compassion drawing.
Ashley, did you want to come to the garden?
No, I wanna stare at this thing so I know what's going on. Right?
Yeah, you don't have to, you can go to
I
the
wanna
garden right now,
unmute it at the right time.
but she's going with them, so there's nothing to worry about right
Okay,
now.
then I'll.
There's nothing to unmute until normally half an hour in, because we start with the meditation.
When is a great, are we meditating in the garden?
No.
Why am I going to the garden, but okay. And
Because you had asked to meet with Haju, so she can show you where to plant things.
I understand. Yes, I wanna go to the garden. Gata for the sound of the mind calm, body at ease, breathing quiet, sentiment benevolent. Dharma friends, sitting still in vital silence, wanting nothing, we practice eco-Buddhism together. The sound of the temple bell booms for all to cease from conflict. May the way of Buddha usher in the dawn of non-violent global village forever. Here is the after sound of the bell. Thunder of silence, light after Dharma rain. Amoga Varochana Mahamudra Mani Padme Jvala Pravartaya
Please join in the chanting of Yale. Chi Shin Quim Yong Ne Shi Bang Sam Se Che Ma
Namyo Shivam Samse Shemam Chale Samchu Ilshe
I go for refuge to the Buddha
I go for refuge to the Buddha
and resolve with all beings.
and resolve with all beings.
I will cultivate a heart of enlightenment
I will cultivate a heart of enlightenment
and realize the great way.
and realize the great way.
I go for refuge to the Dharma
I go for refuge to the Dharma
and resolve with all beings.
and resolve with all beings.
I will penetrate the teachings
I will penetrate the teachings
and uncover oceans of wisdom.
and uncover oceans of wisdom.
I go for refuge to the Sangha
I go for refuge to the Sangha
and resolve with all beings.
and resolve with all beings.
I will seek peace and happiness for the many
I will seek peace and happiness for the many
and transform this world into Buddha lands unimpeded.
and transform this world into Buddha lands unimpeded.
Before we go for our second period of meditation, I want to take a moment to honor one of our Dharma ancestors. This is Sobang Sunam Day, Sobang being one of the teachers in our lineage. So on our altar today, we have Samu Sunam, who was Haji's teacher, our senior teacher, and then Samu Sunam's two of his teachers were Sobang Sunam and Tongsan Sunam. Sobang Sunam was Samu Sunam's meditation master. So when we honor ancestors, we do extra prostrations. Today, let's do 9 prostrations to Sobang Sunam. And with each prostration, we'll say Sobang Sunam. So this is in honor of that great meditation master who helped pass that knowledge down to us. Sobang Sunam. Sobang Sunam. Sobang Sunam. Sobang Sunam. Sobang Sunam. Sobang Sunam. Sobang Sobam Sunam. Sobam Sunam. Sobam Sunam. And now please return for another shorter period of meditation. Breathing in, breathing out as you fold to the right. Clasping the hands behind the back, bring your shoulder blades together and lean forward. And as you straighten up,
Feet is down.
turn to the left.
Nobody's saying anything right now.
Turn to the right.
And it will stop feeding as well.
Nice big circles. The other way. Leaning to the right. Leaning to the left. So before we proceed, I asked, do we have visuals again?
Yes, can you make sure your mic is on?
It is on. Here, come
How do you know it's on? I don't see a blue button. Okay, now it's
So thank you for your patience while we work with our technology. And it feels like now we're all together and we can see each other and hear each other. And I want to extend a very warm welcome to everybody who's here today. So we'll start with our reading from the Dhammapada. This week we are reading from the chapter, The Way. The way is eightfold. There are four truths. All virtue lies in detachment. The master has an open eye. This is the only way to the opening of the eye. Follow it, outwit desire. Follow it to the end of sorrow. When I pulled out sorrow's shaft, I showed you the way. It is you who must make the effort. The masters only point the way. But if you meditate and follow the law, you will free yourself from desire. I hear the sound of the mock talk in the distance. Great compassion Dharani. Sevaraya So the sound of the mock talk reminds me of the retreat that we had this past week. And for those who tried to tune into Sunday services, you may have noticed we were not online. It's because we were still in this retreat. So during the retreat, the great compassion Dharani and the sound of the mock talk is what wakes us up in the morning at 5 a.m. And then what we do is care for our bodies with a cold rub down. So we rub cold water all over our bodies to help wake us up. We go for a walk in the park. We come back and do 108 prostrations and then begin to sit. And throughout the day, we have periods of sitting and walking meditation. We have Dharma talks. We have mindful work practice. Yeoming Junction, our spring retreat, is called sitting, leaping like a tiger while sitting. So it is all about energy practice, or virya, and that's our Dharma topic today. So during a retreat, we cultivate virya both physically with the prostrations and the walking and the mindful work, and mentally, because as we sit throughout the day, a lot of stuff comes up that we need to work with. So it's an opportunity for us to work with our concentration, to keep bringing our attention back to what we are doing, and also at the same time to just kind of let go of all that stuff, all those distractions that trouble us. After the retreat, Haji Sunam asked me, well, what's the Dharma topic this coming week? And I said, gee, I don't know, I haven't thought about it. And she said, what's alive for you? And I said, getting through the week. It's going to be a busy week. We have lots to do, and then we're going to leave town right after service on Sunday. And so she said, well, if that's alive for you, then you need to talk about that. But the deeper message here, the deeper thing is, this really is about energy practice, how we use our energy, how we cultivate it, so that instead of my responding, I'm just trying to get through the week, I can come from a point of wanting to engage wholeheartedly in what is going on. So in Buddhism, we have a term for this energy. It is called virya. And if you look at in the English dictionary, it is related to the word virile or vigor. In Chinese, it means advancement of single-minded energy, or sort of kind of implying devotion. Virya is also one of our paramitas. So we have 6 paramitas, and virya paramita is, may I be strenuous, energetic, and persevering. So we want this in our daily lives. We also want it in our Buddhist practice. So Dale Wright talks about virya as being the power to see a spiritual endeavor through to its completion. So this to me sounds like perseverance. And as we look at strenuous, energetic, and persevering, this persevering can be thought of as sort of the energy to do it all day, every day, to continuously be engaged in our practice. If we look at words of the Buddha in our training programs, we're studying this book from Bhikkhu Bodhi. It's called In the Buddha's Words. And the Buddha is engaged in a dialogue with a Brahmin student who wants to know all about Buddhism and wants to know how is it that you come to this notion of truth. A debate going back and forth between the Buddha and the student. The Buddha asks questions and highlights topics and elements that are important. The point of our Buddhist practice is to arrive at some kind of truth that can guide our lives in a wholesome way. So the question from the student, what is most helpful for final arrival at truth? The Buddha says, striving. The student says, for what's most helpful for desire? Acceptance of teachings as a result of pondering. And then it goes on throughout this list. But these first items, you notice, they are all about virya, or energy. So in order for us to fully absorb the teaching, we need to apply our efforts. Shantideva, an ancient Buddhist scholar, defined virya as the endeavor to do what is skillful. And this skillfulness, Shantideva says, generates merit. And there are some direct benefits to merit. So the body experiences pleasure as a result of acts of merit. The mind is pleased through learning. When one remains in cyclic existence for the benefit of others, what can weary the compassionate ones? That's a strong motivation for pursuing the cultivation of energy. Dale Wright offers ideal expressions of energy, and I really kind of like this list because I can think in practical terms of or in sort of dichotomous terms. I have high energy today. I have no energy today. I want to have more energy. I want to pursue things with vigor. But that's kind of a limited view if I just look at does energy exist or does not exist. So there are some qualities that allow us to make decisions about how we want to cultivate this energy, because we all have it. And Samusunam was famous for saying, you have more energy than you think. So these are qualities of energy. Number one, disciplined, yet with an element of joyful release. This is an interesting one because when I'm sitting in meditation sometimes, I think discipline, discipline, discipline. Just bring my mind into alignment and force it to conform. And yet, it's supposed to have an element of joyful release. So that means cultivation of energy is also letting go practice. It's not just single-minded discipline, one-focused. It also has some joy in it, some letting go. The second quality, a well-developed capacity for delight. The quote I read from Shantideva a moment ago alludes to the fact that it feels good to be a bodhisattva. It feels good to share in the joy of achievement of others. At our student meeting this weekend, one of the students was talking about what's alive for her right now is this sense of delight at birds in the morning. So just connecting with what is going on in the environment, the small things. Energy is about cultivating delight. Third aspect, there's a sense of confidence and strength that goes beyond the small self. So as I cultivate energy of practice, if I can cultivate a sense of connection to others and connection to the teachings, it creates a sense of confidence. I don't have to know it all. I have the support of the ancestors of Solbong Sunam and Tongsan Sunam and Samui Sunam and everybody sitting here in the Sangha. And together we have an energy that's much greater than any one of us. A fourth aspect or expression of energy is the experience of mental energy. And these qualities include being open, observant, attentive, responsive, attuned to the world. So this means we're able to engage in active questions. And during a retreat, active questioning, and during a retreat, for example, this becomes really important because as we sit with our practice, those of us who do Wadu practice, it's a deep kind of questioning. What is it? What is it that we ask ourselves over and over again? And the act of questioning is where the energy comes from. It's not the answer. It's the act of being willing to continue to question in this very deep way. And then a final quality of virya, of this energy, is the experience of mind-body continuity, or a sense of wholeness and wellness. And to me, I translate this into the experience of authenticity. One of the most important qualities in learning and in working with a teacher is this quality of authenticity, just taking everything that is available to us, not layering on top of it just intellectual notions or not getting caught up in rituals. None of this. It's just being present with what is, connecting to our deepest selves. So this sense of authenticity. So again, of the qualities, the list of qualities. Number one, discipline, yet with an element of joyful release. Number two, a well-developed capacity for delight. Number three, a sense of confidence and strength that goes beyond the small self. Number four, this mental experience of mental energy that's open, observant, attentive, responsive. And number five, the experience of mind-body continuity and wholeness, a sense of authenticity. And so now we move on to the question of cultivation of energy. Shantideva makes it clear that if we don't cultivate the energy in an intentional way, it can dissipate. So this virya is something precious that we want to work with and cultivate. So he says, and this is an interesting translation that I'm reading because it sounds very modern day. It says, "Hey you, expecting results without effort? So sensitive, so long-suffering. You in the clutches of death, acting like an immortal. Hey sufferer, you are destroying yourself." So if we just neglect things, let it go uncultivated, let be what we can fall into this trap of spiraling into suffering in negative states. So, some ways of how to cultivate energy. As I think about this, I sort of started with my list of what seems to enhance energy and what seems to dissipate energy. And then as I looked back at that, it sort of felt like that was a little short-sighted. So let me look at my initial list. I'll just quickly, okay, so what are some things that seem to enhance energy? Physical activity, walking, prostrations. Yes, during a retreat, we cultivate physical activity, and that's pretty important. Connection, talking to friends, helping others. Accomplishment or efficiency. For me, I feel a sense of buoyancy when I'm able to do things check things off my to-do list. I'm a little bit of an efficiency-oriented person or accomplishment-oriented. This particular type of energy I don't think is necessarily beneficial in and of itself because it has its downside. It's like I can be so focused on that accomplishment that I forget that I want connection to talking to friends. A change of scenery, letting go of regular routine. Attending retreats is wholesome for cultivating virya. Inspirational scriptures. As we delve into the beauty of the Dharma, there's a lot there that can inspire us to practice. Right now, one of the things that we're working with in the temple is the 10 vows of Samantabhadra. And one of the vows is notice all the Buddhas in the neighborhood and find ways to support them. It's quite a beautiful way to think about practice. Dharma discussions, very important. At the temple, we have Dharma discussions every morning at breakfast about some element of our practice, about some scripture. Those who are in training programs, we join together once a month for these deep Dharma dialogues that are very nourishing. And then I thought about energy blockers and dissipators. So this is where I think the misnomer comes. This is, I think, perhaps what I was relating to was what qualities am I not cultivating? What qualities of energy am I ignoring? So physical, and these are more symptoms. So physical inactivity, when I don't make time in my day to go out for walks, I notice that. When I notice myself drinking too much coffee, eating sweet things and having a bowl of popcorn, well, that's momentary gratification. An hour or two later, I don't feel so great. So that, in a way, is an energy dissipator. Distractions. This is a big one for all of us. I think we all have lots and lots of balls in the air. So as we work with these distractions, I think it's helpful maybe to come back. I'm looking at my list of qualities. Maybe come back to being a little more disciplined, or returning to energetic qualities of attentiveness and responsiveness rather than being reactive. So perhaps when there are so many distractions, just pause, breathe, be present for a moment before returning to the distractions. Being trapped in systems and routines. The routines relate to my to-do list. At the temple, one of my rules is to keep the schedule. And so sometimes when I get too sort of trapped in that routine, it compromises other things. Like we must have practice 3 times a day and it must be at such and such a time. Well, maybe I'm engaged in an important conversation with someone on the phone. It's not appropriate then just to hang up and say, oh, gotta go to practice now, bye, see ya, that kind of thing. So we have to watch our routines and our systems. Maybe in your life you experience these systems in terms of guidelines or rules that you have at work, or maybe even systems that are out of kind of out of your control. The other day I got caught up in a phone tree system. Gosh, we've all had that experience. Trying to order an important item for the temple, and the phone tree kept directing me to the website to the phone tree, and you know the whole thing. You just feel kind of helpless and out of control, and that is definitely a good time just to walk away, walk around the block, come back and solve it later. In practice, the negative things that I might notice coming up are this monkey mind. I just need to have patience with that. It's my strategy, just have patience and let it pass. It's like, okay, monkey, go ahead, run around for a little while. When you go away, I can refocus my energy on some other quality. And the other thing that's interestingly an energy dissipator for me is when I think I have to live up to this vast promise. We say that, in our tradition, we say seeking or attaining enlightenment is the defeat of meditation practice. So if I go to that place of thinking, I'm living at the temple, therefore I must attain enlightenment for the benefit of all beings, it does not work for me at all. I become totally unmotivated because it seems so lofty, so unattainable. But I can focus on everyday things, what goes on every single day. And so when I do that, maybe I look at cultivating, maybe my energy for stamina is what I want to cultivate today. And interestingly enough, when I'm feeling fatigued, a nap is usually not the solution. Instead, the solution is to go for a walk and do something physical. If I want to cultivate energy for meditation, sometimes just a little extra sitting helps. Learning the Dharma, when I pick up a piece of scripture that seems dry and dull, cultivate the energy of curiosity. Find some little thing in there. Maybe I want to go look up a word in an English dictionary or a Buddhist dictionary, and that gets me going and cultivates my curiosity. And then I think cultivating this sense of wanting to help others can be very strong motivation. Dale Wright says that one of the most important things for cultivating energy, cultivating virya, is to give ourselves time to connect with purpose. And because purpose really can shape our practice. I've been alluding to some of these examples of routine, maybe. So Wednesday evening practice this week, we have normally a specific method for how we do the practice. We sit, we chant the song of meditation, and then we examine something in the song of meditation. Well, this week we decided to depart from that, and we adopted a different purpose for Wednesday evening sitting. So the original purpose was, let's do meditation practice, let's cultivate meditation practice in a prescribed way that can lead to benefits. But we decided instead, well, let's focus on the purpose of being with each other, helping each other, establishing deep connection. And so we had a very different kind of dialogue, and that was helpful. Same thing with the student training meetings. Normally we engage in memorization practice, and Hyun said, you know what, feeling tired, I'm not going to, let's do something different. And so she read this poem, it was pretty irreverent, about doing things, so maintaining our practice in the temple, and encouraged us to do things like let the mold grow in the refrigerator, let the floor get messy, just be a little wild. And as a result of that, our conversation went in a different direction. And again, we cultivated the energy of dharmic connections. It's a very different kind of energy. Okay, so kind of getting near the end of our time today. I want to end this portion with a quote from Solbang Sunam. Solbang Sunam, one of our Dharma ancestors who we're honoring today. And he was known for going down to the village and hanging out with villagers. And one day he was in the village and he gave sort of this beautiful practice on cultivating energy. So here it is. Open your mouth wide and say out loud, Ah, O, Ma. So try that. Ah, O, Ma. That means you are full of life and vitality. After that, look up to the sky and breathe through your nose deeply. And then drop your head out and breathe out through your open mouth. It says do that 5 times. Ah, oh, ma. Finally, keep your mind simple and clear in silence and watch or count your outgoing breaths 5 to 1 in deep humility and gratitude. Never forget that the most successful person is the one who enjoys peace and happiness. That's all. Hapchang to all of you. Some words from Solbang Sunam. And thank you for engaging in this exploration of Virya with me today. I want to, I'll be turning the microphone over to Hayun in a few minutes, but also want to set the stage for Dharma talk for next week, because next week too is part of our ancestor celebration. We have 2 weeks. Today is Solbong Sunam. Next week is Tongsan Sunam. And the reason that we do this is we celebrate our lineage in our gratitude for teachings passed down. So in our Korean lineage, going back, we'll go back to Gyeonghyo, 1849 to 1912, as a overall transmission type of master, followed by Yengsong, 1864 to 1940. Then Tongsan we're honoring next week, 1890 to 1965. Sanchol, I'm sorry, that was a different Tongsan. Sanchol, 1912 to 1993, and Samu, 1941 and he is still alive. So, sorry, I confused Tongsan a little bit because he was a contemporary, even though he was born earlier, he was a contemporary of Solbong Sunam. So Tongsan, in fact, was a precept master or a transmission master. So the reason, just sort of connecting to the importance of our lineage, it has to do with the student-teacher relationship. I think all of us really cherish the teachers that we have in the current time. Many of us, most of us, have a deep connection to Haji Sunam, who had a connection to Samu Sunam. And so as we explore deeply the teacher-student relationship, which Hayun may go into more next time, we come to this way of honoring ancestors. We started right before the Dharma talk with 9 prostrations to the ancestor. So I would encourage you throughout the week, find time daily, do 9 prostrations to Solbong Sunam, saying Solbong Sunam after each one. Recite the 4 great vows is a way to honor the ancestors. Recite the Diamond Sutra, those of you who are into that sort of deeper teaching. But most of all, let me see, yes. Most of all, we honor our Dharma ancestors by saying, thank you. I am inspired to continue. I still have a lot to learn. Okay, so I'm going to do the 4 great vows and then we'll transition to announcements. Again, honoring our lineage. All beings, one body, I vow to liberate. Blind passions, one root, I vow to terminate. Dharma gates, one mind, I vow to penetrate. The great way of Buddha, I vow to realize.
Thank you, Ma'um. I don't know whether parts of that really resonated with me, including the last words. I have a lot to learn. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to anyone who's new today. We are the Arbor Zen Buddhist Temple, and I'm here to tell you about some of the offerings coming up that you might want to participate in. The first offering is
Ma'um mentioned it, our Wednesday evening sitting together. It's really a delightful place to not only sit together and chant together, but also to have some really good Dharma exploration with Dharma friends. We usually have a part of what we call the Song of Meditation, a line that we really kind of work on together and sort of chew on and have some insights together with. So if you are seeking connections and friends, you are welcome. Just let us know, write to us at AnnArborZenTemple@gmail.com, and we will include you. It's a Zoom call, so we have to invite you to that. But so please contact us if you'd like to participate. Secondly, we will be starting a new meditation class on April 22nd. And so if you're interested, please let us know, same website, or you can call us AnnArborZenTemple@gmail.com, or you can call us at 734-761-6520. I wanted to mention a couple other things. We have a great garden team, and spring is coming. It's here. The red bud outside is in bloom now. It's just really beautiful here at the temple. But we have big vegetable gardens and flower gardens. So if you're a person who also wants to connect with other people, have fun together, have a little Dharma work practice together, get your hands in the soil, really feel the life as it's coming out. We have lots of kale seedlings. We eat a lot of kale here at the temple. And so please come. It's Saturdays from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And so it's at our temple location at 1214 Packard Street in Ann Arbor. And so you can just come right around to the back, and we're going to meet in the backyard. So you are welcome to join us. And the other thing that Ma'um mentioned that I wanted to just point out for later on in the summer and fall is we're going to be introducing a program of individualized retreats. And as we hopefully come out of this pandemic together in some semblance of renewal, it's a really good time to deepen your practice spiritually and have our renewal, have a spiritual blossoming. And so if you would be interested in doing a retreat at the temple of a weekend or a week or a month, longer, just contact us, because you'll work with an individual teacher to really craft a program that's perfect for you as you begin your sort of trajectory of exiting the pandemic, which we all hope to do soon. With that, I just want to say again, thank you for your contributions, for supporting our temple. You keep the lifeblood beating in us, and we are so grateful to be here for you and with you. So please contact us. We'd love to hear from you. And have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. It's bright and sunny here in Ann Arbor, so enjoy the weather. Thank you, everyone.